Howdy, we're just doing a tour of the Adelong gold mining ruins. It was active from 1852 to 1943. Okay, it was called the Gibraltar Gold Mining Site, and it was run by a water mill down there that they created out of the natural rock that they used. See that there? They diverted the river itself to run the mill that ran the grinding stone. Okay, that's an aerial shot of the place. And they didn't just stay in one spot. They moved around and was searching for the veins. There's underground minings as well down there as well. That would be pretty interesting to have a look at and discover if you're into that kind of stuff. Adelong's in New South Wales near Truman, middle south of Sydney. William Ritchie and David Wilson were the two instigators of all these mining undertaking that went around and acquired the gold out of these sites. And this is like the Victorian time where there has all the stuff in there. There was a Campsie resident on the hill. There. There's like a trail that goes down to the workings itself that you can follow. Quite a steep descent. There's not much of the dam existing that was used for the milling of the ore itself. I've been to a few of the old gold mining diggings in New South Wales, and Hillland is one that I just came back on the bridle track by motorbike, and they weren't as the artifacts in the archaeological sites weren't that prominent. They were pretty much all washed away. But Adelong seems to be, you get a really good feel of. There's still a lot of structures left over. You know what they did. How that actually built into the retaining walls and mills, and the chimneys stacks are still there. All pretty much intact. So these are the retaining walls that they made out of the natural stone that's around this area. Took us a bit of a scramble to get across the creek. It was either that or walk across the bridge. Walk up that hill and back down those footsteps. It's like an old grinding wheel. Something aliens might use to land. Bridge across. Everything's sort of made out of the natural surrounding rock. all these sort of wheels. Cogs left over from the old timers, what they used to use to crush the oil. It's amazing the amount of infrastructure that they needed to make it worth their while. It must have been worth their while, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it. Or was it just gold fever? Just making sure there's no tiger snakes or brown snakes. There's a lot of rock, a lot of nice nooks and crannies for things to jump out of. The internal structure of it had windows, so I'm thinking this place used to get a couple of feet of snow in the winter as well, so they would have been building to survive the cold. Just hope you're finding it as interesting as I'm finding it right now. It's fascinating. Over 100 years ago there were people here committed to making a living, providing for a better lifestyle and economic future for their kids and their family. Goes right out there. That looks like that continued on. This must have been built to keep the floodwaters out, keep the machines dry. Now their clothes weren't as technically engineered for these kinds of conditions, so now they would have felt they were in the cutting edge of keeping their clothes, keeping themselves dry and warm. But compared to these days, you know, they would have had a hard time. And that's it. That looks like a channel of some sort. And it just continues on up that valley all the way. So I'm pretty sure if I just stayed on this track here, that there'll be more gear cogs and retaining walls and cottages made out of stone. That continues on. But bull ants, just don't stop the video. Oh, there's more bull ants. If you ever had a bull ant run up your leg and bite you would know. Okay, that's it for this video. So this is an interesting artifact here. It's an old rock boulder that's been blasted. So they've had to, just got to have a bull ant crawl up my leg. They've had to come across and get around this rock, and because there's a sheer drop off on this side, they've decided to drill in up here and stick some dynamite into this crevice here and blow the rock face out to get around this rock face. So that would have taken a number of man hours and labour and time and expensive black powder. That's what they used back in the day to blast rock. And granite's really hard to work with and to move. And they didn't really have the excavators and rock breaking machines that they have today. It's all done by black powder and ropes and pulleys and very basic, simple kind of pyramid building kind of techniques that they had to come up with to make their life easier to get to the workings around here. Anyway, you see that they've created some holes, water channels. Somehow they've cut it out of their rock itself and used that as a channel to channel their gravel and gold bearing ore. We just came back from Arrowtown in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Saw all the old Chinese diggings and huts that they used to live in. There's some of the underground workings, tunnels going into the mountainside, following the vein, of course, to the rainbow, gold, happiness and pleasant things that shine in the moonlight. That's one of the chimneys still left over from the archaeological site at Adelong mining ruins here. And as you can see, that's the paddle wheel that they use to turn the grinding stone. Now they were saying they lost about 90% of the ore down to the creek. So when you look around, there's a few tales of it does look like they've tried to create a gold trapping technique in these rocks by cutting away at these rocks and making gold traps. I'll show you one of them. So they're using the natural stone itself as an engineering technique to capture the alluvial gold that was being missed during the grinding process. I don't know what you think, but I don't think that's natural. That looks like it's been cut into the rock itself and used as a gold trap. They would have worked this for a few weeks and then gone down and just dug the hell out of that trap there and processed that along with their workings. And all these streams here would have caught all the gold. So I'm just curious, if you got a pan and you went through this ground now, what you would find, you know, in alluvial gold. I know that I'm just having myself on, but yeah, there's got to be gold in that hole. Okay, as I was coming along the other side of the creek itself, I just came along this stairway going back up to the car park itself, and I've just noticed these handrails. Now they are all broken off from this point on. You can follow it along here. There's only one conclusion that I can make, that these have been broken off during the flood periods of this river itself, and it stops there. So that's a high water mark here. Those are the kinds of floods we get during the you know, when we get a lot of snow and it melts and water just does its thing. And We're going back to the car park. It's on a staircase. There's all of this glass and like old concrete. Well, you know, the old-fashioned concrete that the old timers used to come up with. And that's the end of our tour. So if you found this interesting, give it a like. It's been fun.
I thought when I saw you go over the bridge and then I looked down at all the rocks to get back, I thought, I think I'll be coming along the creek.
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle getting over to the other side. There was no official bridge. There's only one. This is the only way you can get down to the bridge itself. But the other side is a bit of a false trail. It sort of takes you to a dead end, and then you're going to rock hop yourself around to the ruins itself. There's a few viewing points. If you found this interesting, give us a thumbs like and subscribe. I hope to grow this channel to something that I can be proud of and show the outside world what's the history in Australia, the folklore history, and what made these towns what they are, the difficulties and what they had to prevail through to make it something that they could make a living out of, and to raise their family and succeed in a harsh landscape like Australia with the fires and the droughts. Just looking at all these trees, they're all charred and blackened. So part of Australia's, you know, we don't have tornadoes or earthquakes, but we have fires.